I'll take one.
Start whenever you want.
Ready? Okay. Ready to go.
All right. All right.
I'll sell it back to you.
I'll drink a beer.
I'm taking one. I'm taking one. All right.
All right.
Let's get going here, guys. Wow, that is loud. That's loud. Can I talk a little louder for you, brother? Well, we're here at the 2025 National Sports Convention. This is our wonderful wrestling panel. My name is Tony Vella with WrestlingTradingCards.com. I don't know who this guy is, but he's going to introduce himself.
My name is Paul Linan from Wrestling Card Price Guide. Year 4, Tony. We're back at it.
What am I back at? What, for me?
Well, we're back here at the National.
Yeah, year 4. Yeah, we've been doing this for a little while now, so we're happy to bring wrestling cards to the National. We've been doing it, like I said, for 4 years now. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger as far as popularity of wrestling cards, and we're here to talk a little bit about it. What do we got here, Paul?
Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is we're going to cover the modern era of wrestling. We're going to cover the vintage era of wrestling. Big news in our hobby, obviously, is that Hulk Hogan passed away last week, and he had a massive impact on wrestling card sales and popularity. So we're going to cover that stuff. Let's start with the vintage stuff. Tony, why don't you talk about...
We can talk about some of the vintage stuff, absolutely. So we like to break things down a little bit this year, both modern and vintage. We're going to do vintage first. We've had some great sales. I mean, for wrestling cards, it's come a long way. To even crack the top 5, you have to be in 5 figures now. I mean, that's unheard of. You know, I guess for us that are in the hobby, it's become more the norm, but you would have told me 5 years ago that we're going to have consistent, you know, $10,000 plus wrestling cards. I would have laughed at you.
But here we are.
But here we are. I mean, number 5 alone, to get in that top 5, you're looking at an 82 Hogan Wrestling All-Star from a BGS 9. That was at $15,860.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
And
man.
that's the lowest one.
That's the lowest. And it's just crazy to me that a wrestling card gets that high, but it's about time, I say. What do we got in the next one? We got 85 Hogan Tops PSA 10. That's 19 grand. 19 grand for our tops. How many of you guys threw that stuff away when you were a kid? I mean, that stuff was part of the junk wax era, was it not? Drake over there would know. He would know that stuff.
Well, we just saw a box on the floor for $8,500.
I know, a box on the floor for $8,500. Fun fact about those, a lot of that stuff was part of the junk wax era. It's actually a little more difficult now to find a mint box that does not have a black streak across it. The black streak would signify that that was dump product, to get rid of it. Star Wars, wrestling, anything tops from the 80s, early 90s, all became dump product. So to see that these cards are holding some incredible value, it's crazy. I know there's a lot of commotion going on over there, some good non-wrestling stuff. We don't want to talk about those guys. Third on our list here, we've got the 85 Hogan Topps PSA 10, another one. And that one sold for $19,700 last year.
Where'd Ben go? I think he might have had something to do with that sale, right?
He might have had something to do that.
He went off for a beer, so, you know.
Yeah, bring me back a beer, would you please? Then we had 85 Hogan O-Pee-Chee. That's a PSA 10.
O-Pee-Chee from Canada?
You know a little bit about that.
Yep.
That went for $20,100. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And then the top one, Paul, you were watching this thing late in the night. I fell asleep, so.
The top sale of the year was the 1982 Wrestling All-Stars Hulk Hogan for $103,700. It's not the highest ever. We had one last year for $132, and that still sits as the highest wrestling card sale ever. And Hulk Hogan has 7 of the top 10 wrestling card sales of all time. So if there's ever any question as to who the most popular name is in wrestling and in wrestling cards, quite clear.
It's Hogan.
It's Hogan.
It's absolutely Hogan. And before we go over to the modern stuff, though, I want to break a little bit into the indie cards. Everybody talks about all the popular wrestlers out there of Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold, Andre, but there's a niche within our niche about the indie promotions. And what those are, for those who don't know, a lot of small promotions out there. Back in the day, we call them territories. They produce their own cards because we live in a world now where it's very easy to produce our own trading cards. So a lot of the diehard wrestling card collectors are looking and prospecting for who might be the next big star. So they're they're looking for indie promotions. Maybe there's a promotion in Maryland, maybe there's a promotion in Arizona or California, sometimes in Germany or wherever. So people are looking for the next big possible, superstar. There's a lot of stuff that's come out over the past years actually, it's like that. So that hobby keeps continuing to grow. We have a group of guys in this hobby called the Brotherhood. Shout out to the Brotherhood, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't even know about half of these things. That keep finding new and interesting cards within the wrestling world that are incredible designs and contain, superstars of tomorrow that you just never know who's going to be the next Hogan or Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I'd like to give you an idea. At the end of my street, there's a church. And in that basement, once a month, we have indie wrestling. And it's a blast. And we have tons of people. And something like that's happening all across North America in towns all over. And like you say, it's not as prohibitive to make your own cards anymore. So we see a lot of releases from independent guys, and it's a very good point that you never know who the next superstar is going to be.
And what's interesting is that both Paul and I run websites for well over 10, 20 years now that archive all this information. And so a lot of the grading companies out there look to us to help validate and authenticate these cards that they're legit, they're real. And that helps with people who want to collect and maybe even get them graded, because that's obviously where it's at when it comes to the money side of it. So I think it's been an amazing thing to see independent cards grow to where they're at. I say if you find a card laying on the ground, that's just me. I pick them up, man. I never know what it could be.
Yeah, exactly.
But speaking of that, so we have modern cards now, and unfortunately,
before I go to modern, I want to make a point about Panini.
Oh yes,
Panini used to be a major player in the wrestling world. They had the WWE license until last year. It's reverted back to Topps. But what Panini has done is they're working now with a company called Major League Wrestling, and they're doing indie stuff. And they're going to be doing more in indie federations. So that gives you an idea that if a company, I can see Panini's booth from here in the neon lights. If they're getting into indie wrestling, then there's something there.
I don't know. Here's what I thought I had about that too. Do you find that that's just sort of them kind of grabbing at straws a little bit now, trying to stay within the niche?
Well, maybe, but the indies don't suffer for it.
No, I mean, wrestling card collectors don't suffer at all from that. But I kind of find that it's almost like grabbing at straws there a little bit. Like, why not go after the TNA license? Why not? Why not go after? I mean, you can't go after AEW, but
TNA might actually go to an upper deck.
Never know. You never know. But I think it's kind of cool and interesting. I think they're doing what like the live now, like Topps now.
Yeah,
they're doing
out.
Panini Moments or whatever.
Right.
And then they're going to release
like
actual physical product, I think.
And another thing about indie, or I guess we can call it custom cards, there's also a market for artists. Kevin Gus, for example, does an art series, 75 Kings.
Yep.
Our friend Nick gets involved with a friend of ours, Adrian, and they do a lot of custom stuff. And custom stuff is highly desirable as well.
Well, here's the issue I have with that, and I've always told you, I've always referred to that stuff as kind of bootleg stuff.
Well, that's what it is.
I mean, you can start getting licensing problems there.
Yeah, it's all licensing.
It's all licensing problems. Yeah. When you do independent stuff, you're getting permission from the promoter, who gets permission from the talent, obviously permission from the photographer.
Usually
but the people who end up making their own cards and then selling them, it's a gray area that I always kind of have a problem with.
Kind of like doing this.
Well, I mean, we're promoting. We're just self-promoting. We're not actually selling anything either, but it seems to be like a little of a gray area. It's really number 99. So I have a little love-hate relationship when it comes to stuff like that, but it's still exciting to see that people get into these customs and independent cards. So,
and of course, you mentioned the Indie Brotherhood. They're such a force, and we rely on them so much for information. If it wasn't for the guys in the Indie Brotherhood,
I'll take it live on the air, baby.
There we go.
I'll take that. I love when they bring me a beer.
Everybody, Mr. Ben Woo Woo.
Mr. Woo Woo, how you doing, sir? Is it not illegal? Not illegal. I don't care. All right, wait. Well, I think that's pretty much covered most of the independent stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff is coming out all the time. But one thing about, I'll close it with this, with indie stuff. It used to come out fast and furious. There were some weeks where 2 or 3 releases were coming out, and it was really hard to keep up.
Yeah.
It seems to have slowed down a bit.
A little.
I'm kind of
A little.
okay with that. 'Cause
I'm
it makes
getting a nod out there. So yeah, it's not as I think it's not as much as we used to see.
I think the flip side too is the major companies are putting out more product too, with the live, with the moments, with the tops nows, things like that. It's just it's still a lot to absorb, but that's kind of where we're at with wrestling cards now.
Yeah.
We wanted to be taken seriously. We wanted to be a major player, and that's what happens when you're a major player.
Like you said at the outset, from where we were 4 years ago when we turned up here today, the growth in wrestling cards has been absolutely phenomenal. And that has a lot to do with Tops and Fanatics and the energy they're putting behind promoting their product and the growth of indie stuff and Upper Deck getting involved with AEW and so on and so forth. But we've been busy.
Yeah, it's been really busy.
We've seen quite an increase over these few years.
What was that? Yeah, indie pre-sales, man.
We don't like
Boy,
those, do
I
we?
think the Brotherhood has really strong opinions about this, and they are absolutely right, man. I absolutely hate pre-sales.
Define what it is so people
Okay,
understand.
well, for pre-sales, a lot of these promotions out there are asking for your money up front to help finance making these trading cards. And it seems a lot lately that people are waiting 6 months, 8 months, a year or more to get their stuff. I don't think they're getting their stuff. And that's really not cool of these promotions doing that. So I don't like doing pre-sales. The Kevin Gusts of the world's like that. Established guys who put out good quality products always will buy their stuff, even pre-sale. But a lot of these promotions out there, I think they're doing their core customer base, their fan base, a disservice by not fulfilling those pre-sales when they should be.
Well, they're waiting until they have enough money in hand to go to print.
If you don't have the money to print them, then don't make them.
When we made our set, we fronted everything.
Yeah, we fronted everything.
Thousands of dollars of
Yep.
upfront costs. Whether we make it back, who knows? But the idea is that we don't want the community to pay for our product.
I mean, I produce a trading card set for a local promotion from Phoenix, Arizona called Phoenix Championship Wrestling. I front all that. They don't pay any of that stuff. For me, it's just a way to give to the local community out there, also to sell at my store at some point in time.
Right.
And who knows who's going to be the next big star.
Those are great looking cards, by the way.
Fantastic designer and really good stuff. I'm really proud of them.
Really nice.
You have the stuff like that. You have Pete Lynch putting out great cards.
Yep.
You have Kevin Gus.
Yep.
You have I haven't seen anything from 75 Kings in a long time.
No, it's been quiet.
Adrian Brown puts out quality work on everything he's ever touched.
Fabulous designer.
So I mean, hell, he did these.
Yep. Well, not,
I mean, he did
he
the
did
whole
the backs.
yeah. The
And what
back.
these are, by the way, is we have our 3 shows. Tony runs WrestlingTradingCards.com, and I run Wrestling Card Price Guide. And we decided many years ago that we would be stronger if we worked together, helping each other to try and suss out what's out there and sharing notes between each other. And in fact, I didn't even know Tony when I wrote the original Wrestling Card Price Guide. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, do you want to promote your WTC in the book? And he said, sure. And then he set me up with the guy from TriStar and gave me the whole back cover of Hulk Hogan, who had just came out in his first TNA set,
Yep.
the new era.
2010.
So we didn't even know each other when we were doing business.
Yep.
And then during COVID, Tony sat with Dave Porto, the guy that he started WrestlingTradingCards.com, and they did a video.
Story that keeps getting told over and over
And then
again.
the next thing you know, we did a video.
Yep.
And then the next thing you know, we did many videos.
I think we're probably over 200 episodes. You can go onto our channel and
So
check
that's what
out.
we're promoting now is that on YouTube, you can go back and you can watch. We have 3 shows. We have our 3 count, which is like a monthly or quarterly wrap up of what's going on in the hobby.
Yep.
We have Hot Topic, which talks about whatever is new and exciting.
Whatever.
By the way, is the Raw Big One going up tomorrow?
No,
No? Okay.
no.
I forgot
Sorry.
to ask you that.
I dropped the ball on it. It's ready to go, but I just too busy.
And the last thing is the Collector Series. The
Collector
Collector
Series.
Series is a fun one because we talk to people. We talk to people in the hobby, guys and gals. The girls, we got to do your Arizona
will.
chicks.
We will.
That's going to be a good one too, right? Nick, you know about what I'm talking about.
But we do a lot of different episodes. Those are our 3 primaries, and then every once in a blue moon of something newsworthy comes out, we'll try to get together as quickly as possible and cover things like, hey, Topps got the license back or something like that, or someone's going bankrupt or whatever. We'll talk about that with the collectors. So it's always moving and growing. That's what these are to help promote that. We'll be handing them out to everybody through the whole show. Come hit us up. We'll throw a bunch of them at you.
Oh,
Breakers in the hobby. I tried doing for me personally, my only experience is doing a whatnot, and I know that the major people here is like that. It wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. To me, it's
which
like,
is weird because you'd be good at it.
To me, it's like eBay on crack.
It's a bit of a dog and pony for sure.
And I just don't have the time nor the energy to be an entertaining person like that, I guess. I think it's great for buyers. Me as a seller, when I was selling, I took a bath on it. I was given $500 worth of merchandise for $100 and something in total. It was not worth it to me. I think if you're looking at singles, it's a great thing to do. But breakers as a whole, it's almost like grading with me. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation. I see what its purpose is for. I understand what it's good for the hobby, but I also see the negative side, so I'm not quite sure how I want to handle that. I kind of just stay away from it. I'm still collecting old school wise.
Okay, let's talk about modern. 'Cause there's a
Modern
lot there.
stuff. We could do modern.
Well, you know, now we're dealing with Topps, and they have the WWE license, and they're putting a ton of energy into their product. They're advertising on the shows, and Topps is owned by Fanatics.
Which is amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Seeing a card company actually advertising on TV, on PLEs, in publications, on social media. Topps is on it. They're on everything. It's making it very, very accessible to everybody. And I know as a store owner, I have had more phone calls or people coming into the store asking, do you have Topps 2025 Chrome? Do you have Chrome? Do you have Chrome? Do you have Chrome? Who are just getting into the hobby for the first time.
Very successful release.
Yeah. And so their marketing campaign across the whole board is top notch.
Yeah. No, they've reclaimed the license, and they're serious about it. They're going to make a splash for sure.
Well, when you combine Topps owned by Fanatics and put those two together, it's a no-brainer, man. They're doing a fantastic job.
So why don't we go through the top year-to-date sales of modern?
We can. We'll start from the bottom up.
Yep.
I have my cheat sheet here, folks, just so you know. So otherwise, I like to just kind of ad-lib it.
Every show we do, we have a cheat sheet.
So,
People can't just see it.
well, he makes the cheat sheets. I just go with the flow. At $11,000, that took $11,000 to crack our top five. That was a 2024 Flawless Cody Rhodes Diamond logo card. That's pretty darn impressive.
Yeah, it's the highest Cody sale ever.
Highest code. What's most impressive to me is the number 4 spot.
Yeah, me too.
Was a 2024 Julia Select Gold Vinyl sold for $10,755.
Just to give you an idea, Select isn't Prism. You know,
Yes.
Select isn't immaculate.
No.
It's not impeccable.
Select is just Select.
It's just Select.
But
it's a great set.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But and then
it goes
seeing a name
above
like
it.
Julia be in the top five, not another Rock, not another Cena or a Roman Reigns, Julia,
Yeah.
who I'm sorry is not getting the pop that I see like at Io Sky or as
Stephanie's getting a bigger pop.
Vaquera.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's just a weird one. Number 3, we got the Rock Panini Select Gold Vinyl 1 of 1. 1 of 1s are 1 of 1s, man. They're unicorns.
And The Rock is The Rock. We talked earlier about Hogan being the top name in vintage and overall. Number 2 would certainly be The Rock, and he does have the second highest sale of all time.
It's really interesting because you're going to have vintage and you have modern. The king of vintage is Hogan. Overall, the entire hobby is Hogan. The king of modern is The Rock.
Absolutely.
And the numbers show that. So we have that gold vinyl. That sold for $12,000, which is
Huge.
low. It's low for a Rock card.
Yeah, but
it
it's still 5 figures.
It's still 5 figures.
on a
I get
modern
it.
wrestling card.
I think by next year, when we come back again next year, it'd be like, 5
we'll see.
figures. We got 2025 Chrome, The Rock Final Boss. That's the inscription one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's inscribed The Final Boss. That sold for $13,500. That even to me was still low for that. I think a lot of us had expectations that this might be a high 5-figure, possibly low 6-figure card. So that wouldn't actually surprise me.
And the top one, drum roll please.
The 2025 Chrome Rock Retro Auto Superfractor PSA 9. That is a lot of words to say there.
Yep.
That was for $15,860. Again, I still think low. I do think low.
Well, there were some private sales that we don't discuss private sales unless we can verify them with buyer and seller. But, there was some higher than that. But $15,860 happens to be the same amount that the Hogan went for at the bottom of the list of
So
vintage.
top of modern, just cracked the bottom of vintage. That's crazy to me.
All right.
It's clear that the numbers don't lie. Rock is the king of modern stuff. I'm surprised we're not seeing a Roman in there. We saw Cody. I think we have sleepers too out there that people don't talk about. Where's Stone Cold in all this?
Yeah.
You know, where's Shawn Michaels? Where's a Bret Hart in all this?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't see those names anywhere in these top fives hardly.
No.
Very, very rarely.
No, it's pretty much The Rock. Let's talk about Upper Deck in AEW.
That's a very quick comment. Upper Deck makes AEW. When and where? I don't know. I've been nothing but nice about it the whole time, but I think I'm as frustrated as every other collector out there who collects, AEW cards. I'm going to be really interested in going to their booth because we just got here doing the panel, go walk the floor a little bit, but I'm interested in seeing if they're showcasing anything at their booth because last year, I'm not going to lie, was very disappointed. There was nothing there. And that's got to change.
There's a new release coming, but I've heard this now since March.
I think we've announced as much as anybody else just now. Next up, we got Top Slam app.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't play that.
I don't do.
I've
digital.
gotten so many people addicted to Top Slam. Oh, here comes trouble.
Uh-oh.
Trouble is on its way. Hey, sir, can we give you a card, sir? There you go. Enjoy yourself.
Everybody, Ryan Shear.
I took your seat today and talked about Upper Deck and my displeasure with AEW. It's got to be known. The Top Slam app. I have gotten so many people addicted to this Slam app. It's been fun to watch them get addicted to it. I've got friends, I've got store employees working, I've got people who just randomly come to the store and they're like, oh, I play with the Topps Bunt, but now they're playing the Slam app, and I'm grossly addicted to it. Like it's a problem. It's so addictive. You don't have to spend any money on it to have the fun. You get the free coins to play. You get vintage. You get new stuff. They even did a whole release that mimicked the Wrestling All-Stars. It's fun. If you guys haven't got on there, I highly suggest go check it out, Top Slam app, just to get a fix of opening up packs.
The future of modern wrestling cards. Where are things going, Tony?
I think we're heading the right direction. I think we're going to continue to keep seeing high numbers. I think we're going to continue to see more interesting, innovative stuff because we haven't seen the best stuff that Topps has put out yet. There's some good stuff coming out from Topps.
Sure.
We're going to see more and more people getting into the hobby, I think. As long as Topps and Fanatics continue to keep promoting the way they're promoting and all the different avenues they're promoting, we're going to see more and more people get into the hobby. Like I said before, I've had more customers come into my store asking for wrestling cards, which was my main goal, really, to open the store, than I've ever seen in my life before. All demographics too. We're having older collectors, young kids, women, men. I mean, it's across the board. Do you have any of that Topps 2025? I'm like, calm down there, people. Calm down. I'll get your fix. Don't worry. So I just think we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg right now. There's so much going on.
Panini had Immaculate. They had National Treasures. There's got to be more high-end stuff from Topps coming.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Topps is taking it to another level, I think. I'm one of the first guys to admit that when I saw the first Chrome coming out, I was like, some of the designs. But then having it in your hand and actually seeing across all the different subsets, I really enjoy it.
It was very voluminous. There was a lot to it. There was a stupid number of insert sets.
The people out there
I'm
who
a master
thought,
set collector.
I love the people who thought that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait till I go back to Topps. Oh, Panini has too many parallels. Wah. And then it comes back to Topps, and Topps said, "Well, really parallels? Hold my beer."
Let's do 20 insert sets. Let's make 4 or 5 of them really short print, so that you're spending $200-300 per card, which makes it difficult. But
it does.
there's a
But
market there for
we
it.
don't live in an era anymore, especially with wrestling cards and any cards, where you go to your local dealer, you buy a set, and you're done.
Yep.
And that's what you used to do.
Yep.
I piece things out because I used to break cases.
Yep.
That's gone. That's just gone. So either you're willing to pay for it and pay a premium because someone else had to buy all that product now because it ain't cheap.
No, putting together the more advanced sets like the Panini Immaculate, Chuck and I did them.
Yeah.
But
It wasn't easy.
no, it was frustrating.
Yeah.
Like National Treasures, I've been on now for a year. I still have 5 to go, and I can't buy the last 5 for less than $75 a piece. And being a cheapskate, say, find them.
Yeah. It's the whole hobby itself has grown and changed, and I keep saying this all the time on our podcast, and I'll say it again here. We wanted to be accepted. We wanted to grow.
We're accepted.
And we're accepted. And I think the prices show that.
Yes.
Either you pay to play or you don't play.
Right.
You can change the way you collect.
Yeah.
I'm a living example of that. I went from it being a master set collector to a set collector. It's like, you know what? I'm going to be a player collector.
Loomis collector.
And I'm a Dexter Loomis collector. I think I chose wisely because I can't afford anybody else. So I'm having fun with it too. So there's always ways to change your lanes to have fun with this hobby.
Yeah, and that's our last point. You know, what appeals? Maybe we'll ask out here. What kind of stuff do you guys collect?
Hopefully wrestling cards, anything. Yeah, Nick likes to collect things that are very easily accessible.
Yeah,
Hopefully on the
yeah,
on
me
the
too.
on the free side. Yes. He
Yeah.
has a store for that. I do too.
Yeah, we should mention that. Tony has a store,
I do have a store
which,
in
by
Phoenix,
the way, was
Arizona.
funded by the sale of a Hulk Hogan vintage card.
We've talked about that many times. We just had ABC News come into my store last week after Hogan passed, and we were once again, Mike and me up talking about Hogan, and I mentioned that I sold a Hogan wrestling card to fund the store. The guy said the same thing. He goes, "Hogan's your third man. He's your third man." And I was like, "You're right." So that became like appealing to him. So, but it just keeps going, man. It just keeps going. I mean, we have other guys who collect, vintage memorabilia. I know a guy in the audience that does that. Yeah. Then I have another guy over here. I don't even know what he does. What do you do?
Non-sport.
Oh, beefcake. Yeah.
Savage.
I
Yeah.
That's why I always make a point that, hey, all it takes is one person with deep pockets, man, spending 7 figures for a beefcake card.
Yeah.
Ice cream bar cards?
Yeah. Chuck's been on those.
Yep.
He's getting close to getting them finished.
It's amazing to me that Chuck, who's been along for so many years, there's still some holes in his collection. I would think that he has so much already by now.
You would think.
Yeah.
Even with my stuff.
I am.
You're never done.
I
know,
remember
that's
when
the
I
beauty of
once
it.
owned a Rax roast beef set until someone came in and stole it. What else you got, Paul?
That's all I got, Tony.
Yeah, that's about it, man. That's a good question, actually. I kind of prefer Topps because Topps has been something I've known for so long, and Panini was new to me when it came to wrestling. I know a lot of collectors out there who do basketball, baseball, football, so they know about, and that's why I had to talk to guys out there who knew more about Panini products and what to expect to educate myself. I do miss some aspects of Panini. Panini put on some really great images onto cardboard that I really enjoy, and Topps had a lot to live up to with that. And in some case, I think they've kind of met a little bit, but there's some things that are, that's so Topps. But I'm kind of born into the Topps era, so I really like Topps a bit more, I think. There's nothing wrong with Panini. There's nothing wrong with Upper Deck. I've loved a lot of their products over the years. But I kind of prefer Topps. 740.
740.
The 45th National Convention will be closing in 20 minutes.
You hear that? We're going to close out of here. We're going to go drinking.
The time is 7:30. The 45th National Convention will be closing in 20 minutes.
Yes, correct. Well, that's an interesting question, Dave. We did a video, or I did a video. Tony couldn't join us, with Rob England, who is one of the sort of vintage experts in the hobby. And we got to talking about the early Hogans, and one in particular was a set called the Wrestling All-Stars that was a magazine. And I asked him the question, is the magazine, a mint version of the magazine uncut, worth more than if you cut up all the different cards? And his response, well, in order to grade them, you have to cut them up,
Yep.
and grading always does better, right? But magazines in and of themselves, not just ones that have cards, but just magazines.
But you can also grade the magazine.
Yeah.
So if your concern is to get them graded, you can still the whole thing and encapsulate the whole entire thing. It's mint with cards inside at a high grade.
Yeah, that's true.
With that,
Yeah. Well, a lot of early Japanese came out of magazines, right?
Yeah, because I
Gong
think you
magazine,
recently,
BBM
last year,
magazine.
purchased one and you actually cut it up yourself, right? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and those are beautiful cards, and they're accepted in the hobby as
Yeah.
being sort of top.
That's a
Hogan's.
whole other hour's conversation
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like taking paper cards
Yeah.
and then consider them cards.
Well, again, keep an eye on WTC TV, and like I said, we've got a collector's episode coming up next week, maybe.
Yep.
Where we cover a lot of that
Yep.
stuff.
What about him? Oh, we got to give David Peck some love
Yes,
here.
David Peck's Wrestling All Stars auction on Heritage, the Platinum auction, is here on the floor. We just went and took a look at
We
it.
went over and took a look at it. Nice display.
We wish David all the best, that he gets a big number. It's going to be the biggest wrestling collectible ever sold.
Does anybody here have an idea what they think that might go for?
Ben, any idea? 200?
What do you say?
2?
About 2?
Yeah, maybe we'll start a pool, Tony. 250?
You know, the timing is odd with Hogan just passing away, so I don't know if that's going to cause any more interest in it. I think it's going to cause interest. I'm going to say that I would not be shocked if I see this thing hit a $500,000.
So let's stay tuned. Stay tuned. We'll know in a few weeks' time.
I would very much love to see this pet collection hit 7 figures, just to get that hurdle out of the way.
Wouldn't that be something?
It's a big number for us in the hobby to hit 7 figures. Every other sport has a 7-figure card. Am I wrong about that? I'm pretty sure every figure. Baseball, basketball,
Well, not
football.
golf. Are we cutting golf as a sport?
Hell, I think even F1 has a 7-figure card.
Yes, F1 does, but I
Yeah.
don't think golf, because I think when we
No,
talked
golf-
about it,
golf does not have
Tiger
one.
was at 360.
360 something for
Yeah.
a Tiger, but 250. Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe bet. Is
that's
a
sort
quarter
of
mil.
Yeah, that's kind of the number I have floating around, but who knows?
But
Who knows? We've got a Hogan 9, and a Hogan 9 is worth 100. Last one sold for 103. But we also have a Flair 10, and we haven't seen one of those in a while. And that's notwithstanding the other 34 cars, which are all again at high grades.
But I think that Flair 10 actually is what's helping sell that
Not gonna
as
hurt.
well. It's not going to hurt it for
And
sure.
one of the big questions, and of course this is for David to answer, and we'll have a follow-up with him after the auction ends. We'll have him on to discuss it with him, was this the best way to go about selling them? Selling them as all 36 versus doing maybe just the Hogan separate or the Flair separate.
It's a nickel and dime effort versus a lump sum. So
Yeah.
I think it's pretty much. I'm excited about this because I just wanted to see it continue to further both wrestling collectibles as a whole and also the card market as well.
It just brings more eyeballs to the hobby. All of a sudden, something goes for that price. It'll
Yep.
make mainstream news, and people will pay attention. What, wrestling? Same thing we had when we started this panel 4 years ago. I had to kick and scream to get a bit of time. I was here in 2010 giving out the original wrestling card price guide. People thought I was nuts. Half of them didn't even know wrestling cards existed.
That's
And
true.
Fast forward to 15 years, and look, we have all this stuff to talk about. It's really become a going concern for a lot of people.
I'm excited to see it. So everybody should check that out.
So that's it, folks. Thank you very much to all the people that came out to see us today. Collect wrestling cards. It's loads of fun. Hulk Hogan, rest in peace. Nick, thanks for doing the video. And everybody else, enjoy your time at the National.
I'm going to drink and go have dinner. Brother.
We need our annual picture, Tony.
Oh, we got to do our picture, right?
Yeah, Nick can take a picture.
Where do you want to do the picture at?
Yeah.
Right here? All right.